everybody. I'm Cary Facer with Warren Street Wealth Advisors, and this is a quick SoCal Edison grandfathered pension update. It is September 22nd, 2022 as I record this. I have been working with Southern California Edison employees and retirees since 2007 when I first entered this business. And we saw this similar change back in 2013, rising rates pushing down lump sum benefit values. So the new rate is available. I'm going to announce it here in just a sec. Before I do, quick disclosure, if you need a copy of our ADV, please give me a call or send me an email, send you a copy of that. We are a team. So our firm, that's me, fifth from the left, my business partner, Blake Street in the center, CFA, CFP, and our Chief Investment Officer. And we have two lead advisors and then an amazing operations and support team that serve about 360 families all throughout the country. And our firm manages about $260 million as of a few days ago. So I want to jump in real quick. This is important. First off, if you are not grandfathered into the old pension formula, this does not apply to you. And the reason we're sending this out to everybody is from my estimates, there may be 40 or 50 grandfathered pension employees still working at Southern California Edison. This is a rough estimate. It could be as low as 10 or 15 or as high as 100. But from the conversations I've had with our clients, it's not many. But if you're listening to this and you're not grandfathered, don't just close this. If you know somebody who is, let them know. Listen, they don't have to come work with our firm, but this information is so important that I want to make sure everybody understands how this works. So down here in the bottom, you'll see highlighted 3.12%. The old formula required you to have 60 agent service credits as of April 1999. And if you did, you were grandfathered into the old pension formula as opposed to the new cash balance plan, which pretty much everybody is on now. And the plan design, as I sent in an email a couple of days ago, is the plan design is subject to interest rate changes based on the formula. And at the end of the day, higher rate pushes out a smaller lump sum value. And the thinking behind here is when plans have been designed for lots of employers, Southern California Edison being one of them, and they offered an annuity, it's a defined benefit plan. So they have a defined benefit plan. They have annuity payouts. There's 175 and 50% options for you. There's also the lump sum walkaway money. And in order for the pension plan to calculate this lump sum value, there has to be a formula. It just can't be an arbitrary number that somebody decides. You know, this is not Southern California executives or your supervisor coming up with your lump sum value. It's the pension formula. And the formula has inputs, variables that go into it to derive a fair payout value based on the annuity and also based on what's going on in the world. And so one of the pieces they use is what's I'm showing here from the IRS website is the minimum present value segment rate, and specifically that third segment. Southern California Edison's pension design uses the average 30-date rate from August from the prior year for lump sum benefits. So currently, if you're retiring from Southern California Edison, you have a grandfather pension, that 3.12% number is the number that's being used to calculate your lump sum benefit value. And rates have risen in a year. The new rate is 4.69. So if you are thinking about retiring and you're ready to retire, this would probably be the year to do it. Some numbers here to put some payouts into context. So this is now being sent out a couple days after a recording, but we were able to calculate, this was yesterday, a lump sum benefit payout for a client of ours. And he's been at Edison for 40 plus years. He is 66 years old. And his lump sum benefit value in 2022, so if he retires in 2022, is $750,000, 476. So call it $750,000 is his grandfathered lump sum benefit walkaway value with the 3.12% interest rate. So he needs to be retired by October in order to have a announced retirement in October, to have a last day of work in November, to have a commencement date of December 1. So if you want to retire this year, you need to let your supervisor know you want to retire. Call the Employee Information Center, let them know you want to retire. Excuse me. And then your last day of work needs to be in November, so you can have a benefit commencement date or retirement date of December 1st. That will guarantee that you get the 3.12% value here, which produces a higher lump sum value. So this example, and this is different for everybody based on your age and service credits, is 750,000. With the new rate that just came out, we were able to input that. So if you go into EIX benefits and you can model the new number. So we went in and entered in 4.69 to run an estimate for him retiring in January of 2023 with the new higher interest rate of 4.69. And his lump sum payout went from $750,000 to $623,278.50. The difference of $127,000. Now, in 2013, the numbers that we were seeing were around $60,000 to $70,000. And so we saw a lot of clients who were, because there was a lot more people who were eligible for the plan back then, who were still working and hadn't retired since then. And we were telling them to retire if they were ready to retire. But don't retire to rush out and grab $60,000 or $70,000. If you're 53, you have debt, you don't have emergency reserves, you're not quite ready to retire, you're too young, and maybe the plan we built for you shows that. So we're saying wait. For this case, this is a no-brainer. This gentleman wants to retire anyways. He's been working with us for about a year now. We have a plan built for him. It looks good. We're managing some money for him already. And now he has to make this decision around the grandfather pension. So he's already put in his request. He's in good order. But I'm sending this out to let you know that the others who have not yet run these calculations need to do so. They need to do so now. What I would hate to see is somebody retire in March or April of next year who are grandfathered because they have an opportunity here to capitalize on a large amount of money. And a disclaimer I put in the email as well. We are not selling California Edison. We're an independent, what's called registered investment advisory firm. We're local here in Orange County. We've helped a lot of people retire over the years. You've probably attended our workshops in past. And we're trying to do the right thing here just to help everybody. So that's why I put the link in here if you want to go to the IRS site and see this screenshot I took here. This is nothing proprietary, nothing secret, but it's important that you run these. Contact EIX Benefits if you have trouble online running it. They can help walk you through it. If you aren't sure if you're grandfathered, you can run that as well online to see the larger benefit if you run a projection. If you need help with that, we offer a complimentary consultation, no strings attached. A lot of people have used us for that and have not become clients, and that is fine by me. I am totally okay with helping everybody here get ready for retirement. Should you need help and you want to hire us and manage the investments in retirement, wonderful. There's lots of choices out there. We would love to be one of them. But this is important. This is probably the last round of this scenario happening for anybody who's grandfathered in the old pension formula with increasing rates as big as this is, right? The one in 2013 was 1.06% increase. This year, you can see here, it's over 1.5% increase. So it's a big change. So we're seeing $127,000 difference by waiting till January, reducing that lump sum benefit. So we're telling our client in this scenario to retire, and he couldn't be happier because he wanted to retire anyways, and he doesn't want to miss out on this opportunity to capitalize versus it going down next year. I'm going to go through quickly a few things that I've done in the past. This is Edison stock versus the All Country World Index and the S&P 500, only because we talk about it all the time. If you have Edison stock in your portfolio, consider diversifying. This is a 5-year snapshot. Hasn't really kept up with the S&P 500, and so we always recommend to diversify. That's a personal decision, of course, but if you look at the 10-year number, it's not as bad. The All Country World Index is a nice global benchmark to look at. Because we do own international and emerging market stocks for our clients' portfolios. So I want to be fair and just not compare it to the S&P 500. But here's Edison stock in purple compared to blue, which is All Country World Index, and then the orange, which is the S&P 500. Or here it's SPY, which is a State Street Spider Fund. Questions on that? Everybody knows diversify. If you need help with your 401k, let us know. There's 3 options: target date, the 7 core funds, and the tier 3 option at Charles Schwab, which is something we do invest on behalf of our clients that use that service. I'm going to briefly go, if you've seen this before, you can close this out. I'm kind of done with the Edison rising rate piece. But for somebody who's new, maybe you are in the new cash balance formula and you were just listening into what's happening on the change for the old grandfathered pension. Here's what I've presented so many times and with a couple updates. So please enjoy. Attend a workshop, you're here. Read a retirement handbook. This is on our website. If you go to warrenstreet.com and who, excuse me, who we serve, the resources available. We'd like you to read the handbook. It's all there. Talks about having a plan, retiring right about now at the end of the year, especially if you're grandfathered. It also helps with a clean transition. And a lot of people like to get the results sharing. So if you work a full calendar year, you'll get a prorated results sharing next year if you're eligible. And then it's also kind of a clean transition for taxes, especially if you're pre-59 and a half, right here on number 4. There's a 72T or the 55 rule we can use to avoid penalties. So end of the year is kind of a nice clean way to retire. We see it as a popular time, which is right now, which is what we're doing a lot of. Calculate your MEC. Oh, I don't think I went all the way through there. So go to our website, warrenstreet.com, go to who we serve. There's a SoCal Edison piece in there, and all the resources are available on that page. And they're free. You don't need to sign up or anything. They're just available to you, so enjoy them. Calculate your medical subsidy. It's a continuation benefit, so based on your age and milestone, whether it's age 55 or age 60, and whether or not it's 85% or 50%, you're eligible for a subsidy, a retiree medical subsidy, which is very generous in today's marketplace. A lot of companies do not offer a retiree medical subsidy, and Edison does. So calculate your medical subsidy. And it's important because this is something that's coming out of your paycheck right now, and it's not coming out of your personal budget. So when you go to retire and you're using a budget worksheet, you're trying to figure out how much money you need to retire. This is one thing you want to add back on there that probably isn't in your budget today. So it's a continuation benefit, meaning whatever you're paying now, if you're eligible and you reach the milestone, that's what you'll receive in retirement as well, as far as your out-of-pocket expense. And it's year by year, so it changes because that's just the way these plans work. Say goodbye to debt. If you've got credit card debt, put a plan together to pay it off. If you're a client of ours, we will help you put a plan together to do that and become debt-free before you retire. That's always nice. Sick time payout. The gentleman who I mentioned earlier who did the grandfather pension was eligible for sick time. Everybody's benefits are a little bit different. But he had $17,000 worth of sick time available, and that we're actually able to roll over as well to defer taxes on. So when you're doing a benefit commencement package and you're electing your options, whether you do take the annuity or you take a lump sum, you can roll over your sick time if you have sick time eligible. So 17,000 we're able to roll over. That just helps them push the taxes on that amount into next year, meaning that in January or February, then we could take it back out at whatever rate he wants from his retirement account. As I mentioned before, budget it out. Number 8, we have in the toolkit, there's a little budget a template worksheet. Go ahead and fill that out. Spend 15 or 20 minutes on your first pass, your next pass through, maybe 30 minutes or an hour. The goal on a budget is to reduce expenses that you don't want or need, and keep the things that make you happy. I mean, this is why you're saving. This is why you're listening to this workshop. Is you're trying to figure out how to retire and go do the things you enjoy doing, and whatever your passions may be. I'm sure it's travel, spend more time with family, and volunteer. There could be all sorts of things, but budget it out. Don't punish yourself if you're spending too much, and get rid of the things you love, like, I don't know, your pickleball, membership at the local club, or your bowling league, whatever the thing is that you enjoy do, keep that, but maybe refinance or consolidate some debt or pay off some debt, or get rid of a gym membership if you have 2 of them and you don't use the other one. So budget it out, find a couple things to work on. And the goal of the budget is to reduce the spending. So don't make the budget perfect and waste the time there. Just identify where additional money may be spent that bothers or annoys you. Emergency savings. So once the credit card debt is gone, if it already is, we like to have our clients build up 6 to 12 months of emergency savings. So whatever your lifestyle is, and you need, $7,000 a month. If you're doing 6 months, right, we're talking about $42,000. So we see kind of that $35,000 to $40,000 of money and savings could be in a CD or high interest savings account. Some of our clients are using I-bonds now, 10,000 per person. Can talk about more of that offline, but there's higher interest rate savings accounts to use, but just keeping money on hand for real emergencies so you don't have to sell off investments, right, to pay for unexpected expenses. Weighing Social Security options. I'm going to breeze through this, but you don't have to take it at 62 if you're healthy. Wait as long as possible. We talked about the 401k and the options there. If you need help there, we can help you with that and the tier 3 option. If you don't want us to do it for you, I can give you some kind of education and guidance there as well on what you should own based on your age. And the short of it is a target date's not a bad deal. A target date, if you aren't sure what to do, is a solid option, and it's a step in the right direction towards professional management. Then beyond that, you could even look at financial engines, Edelman's financial engines, as an option to build a more custom portfolio based on the core funds. And then finally, what we do is in Charles Schwab, where we have thousands of investments to choose from, including individual stocks. We can buy stocks for our clients' portfolios. Doesn't mean we always do it, but it is an option. And if you're do-it-yourselfer and you want to own individual stocks, right, that would be a place you could do it as well in the tier 3 Charles Schwab option. Finally, have a plan. Social Security, age 62 to 70, age to claim, 66 to 67 is everybody's full retirement age, depending on the year which you were born. Once you reach age 70, that's when your 8% annual increase, right, for waiting goes away. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to wait until age 70. I'm sorry, wait beyond age 70. And then full retirement age, 66 or 67. If you are working at that age, you can collect benefits. They are taxable. And so I don't think it makes a lot of sense if you're still working. But if you needed the money, that would be the milestone to wait for, which is full retirement age. Toolkit, I talked about this earlier. This is available on our site. Feel free to use it. It's really simple. It's assets and liabilities, a personal balance sheet to find out your net worth. It's a really good starting point too for estate planning. So if you have not put together a will and trust, this is a good place to start listing all your assets and liabilities, put it in a safe place if something happened to you. It is not an estate plan by any means, but it would help a loved one find out where your accounts are. So if you put on their Wells Fargo, Bank of America, E-Trade, Charles Schwab, right, Fidelity, work 401k, and then a loan, through GMAC, as an example, it'd be much easier for a family member to go through one by one and try to figure out what mom and dad might have had if it was a child doing it. And then here's a budget template, again, available on the site, 15 to 20 minutes on this. Don't go crazy. Just try to find some things that you can cut out or reduce if you need to and want to. I talked about this earlier, the vision. Start thinking now about what you want to do with this new time you're going to have not working. Is because it'll help you get through the hard time of actually planning for retirement. It takes a lot of time. It can be a stressful event. And so you want to have something at the end that can help push you through to give you clarity on why you're doing all this. So here's some examples of what our clients enjoy doing. Where you live is important based on your cost of living. That bright red one down there, yep, that's Southern California. Up in the East Coast and Pacific Northwest, you see it get red again. So living out of state is popular. A lot of our clients are moving out of state. We can work with clients in all 50 states, so no issues there. Think about weather and relationships is really where a lot of our clients end up. And I'll talk about a few more things here, reasons why to stay in California. Beaches, parks, the diverse culture, entertainment, family and friends is probably one of the biggest ones. I'm hearing more clients talk about this with medical care. Here in Southern California, retiring for Southern California Edison, they have the retiree medical plan. Kaiser is not in all 50 states. A lot of our clients are using Kaiser. A lot of people like Kaiser. They're giving me good feedback about their experience with Kaiser. So before you move out of state, make sure you have good medical care in the state you want to go, and perhaps try a plan other than Kaiser if you are not 65 yet, and you need that as your retiree medical benefit prior to moving over to Medicare. Community bonds, California, from a tax advantage standpoint, you have tax-free California municipal bonds, and they're one of the largest issuers. So not all bad in California. Part-time work, some some large employers who are offering part-time work are offering retiree medical. So maybe you don't have retiree medical, you're not eligible. I think Starbucks was the one I heard about recently, was offering medical care for part-time work. So that's a nice little benefit. There's some property tax advantages. You can carry over low tax basis in pretty much all counties now, which is a really nice thing for our clients. We have a handful of people who have done that. They've downsized and carried over a smaller tax basis from when they purchased into a new property. And that's been a really helpful item. And of course, the weather. Southern California has great weather. So if you are thinking about moving out of state, go there during the wintertime and see what it's like. A lot of our clients travel during the good parts of the year, which is usually the summer and spring months. And they move, and then they experience some winters, and they quickly miss California, of course, in and out. And we know they're not just in California, but the food is good here. Next steps, this is how we work. Starts with an established call, engagement, discovery. We go through your goals and planning. And if we need to open accounts, and of course, come up with solutions from the goals and plans that we build for our clients, as I showed you earlier. So our process here, pretty straightforward. How we invest our money for clients. I'm going to blow through this stuff. We have custom indexing, not a lot of time to go through it, so I'm going to breeze through this stuff. If you're watching the replay, just pause and take a look. Let me know if you have questions on custom indexing. Our fees, we can do a planning engagement if you have no assets to manage. At the end of the day, we've gotten super busy here. Our core clients have between $500,000 and up. And so we've unfortunately had to turn away some work in the past. And so we do have minimums now. Everybody who's listening to this call usually qualifies. It's not too hard between a cash balance, pension plan, 401k to be at the $500,000 mark. But if you aren't, I can provide a custom quote. We do come across a lot of great people who need a plan and need help, and we can do a custom quote for a financial plan. So let me know if that is needed. Something important to note here is we are not just investments only. We're not just planning only. We do both, and we do both in-house. And so our best client are the ones. Our best client is the one that values planning and integration. Planning integrated with investments. Important to note there. And then our fee schedule. Okay, so we're at the end. I flew through this because I was trying to keep this short for those who were listening in just for the grandfathered pension piece. So any questions, we'll take questions. This is how you can reach out. Go to warrenstreetwealth.com/schedule. Give us a call. We will answer that. We have a small team of 10, 3 who help take all the inbound calls. So somebody should answer and take your request. And you can also just shoot us an email. My guarantee is if you do book time with us, I will help you for an hour. Anybody who's had this call with me in the past knows I'm not going to try to bother you or convince you or force you or scare you into becoming a client. We only want to work with people that want to work with us. And so we offer this 1-hour complimentary consultation, no strings attached, to ask me some questions, share your situation, and I'd be happy to give you some feedback during that hour. It is considered a service that I enjoy doing and giving back to the community for. You know, these types of questions. This stuff is difficult, and I don't expect you to do it on your own. Well, that's it. Again, Cary Facer with Warren Street Wealth Advisors. I thank you for your time and listening in. Please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to help you plan for your retirement, and I wish you all the best. Take care.